Halo Infinite is a game that has seen a little bit of a resurgence as of late, but this new report coming out signals that we might have reached the end. But let's break this all down. Up next. What up guys, this is Kalo and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video and welcome to the level up. So Halo Infinite is a game that got off to a rather slow start when it released back in 2021. At launch, the game was pretty barren, especially in that bridge between seasons 1 and 2 for the game's multiplayer. Now, in my opinion, when it comes to a game like Halo, Call of Duty, you know, those big FPS games that do have campaigns attached to them, when it comes down to it, people spend a vast majority of time within the multiplayer of the game compared to the game's single player. But with the release of Season 5 and the return of the popular firefight mode, Halo Infinite has finally come close to realizing its full potential. Now, the reason why I say this is because what I mentioned earlier, the game's single player. I just feel there's a lot more meat on the bone here when it comes to Halo Infinite's campaign. In the past, there was talk of added content coming to single player, but that's all it's been, just talk. With Halo Infinite, there was just a lot more to do. Seeing how this was the first Halo that was kind of semi-open world, and when it comes to open world games, the possibilities are just endless. And when you talk about DLC and adding stuff to the campaign, this can kind of be easy. This could be relatively easy when adding in new bosses, new enemies, and just adding new armor to the game. Now, overall, with that being said, I do think the campaign is pretty good as is. And it's one of those games I could see myself going back to later down the road and just giving it another playthrough. But during a chat on the XCast podcast, 343's Brian Gerard talked about where the game devs stand as far as when it comes to the overall ongoing plans for Halo. Quote, "I'll be honest, we have nothing to announce today regarding any campaign content for Infinite. I'll even go a step further and tell you that right now, there's nothing in active development on that front. We made the decision just over a year ago to really double down on improving the multiplayer product. Now, on one hand, this does kinda suck, seeing how I really see a lot of room for DLC, especially in the single player. And who knows, maybe if the stars align, we do get something down the road, but as of right now, no single player DLC for Halo Infinite. Multiplayer is king. It is what keeps players coming back on a consistent basis. And seeing how this newfound focus on the multiplayer has resulted in a little bit of a boom period for Halo, with many saying we're in a little bit of a golden age for Halo, in the long run, this was the right move. Now, speaking purely as a fan, seeing how Halo was one of the games that got me deeply ingrained in the Xbox ecosystem, at its core, the campaign for Halo is where this all began, especially when it comes to the story of Master Chief. And personally, I'm not too much of a fan of just outright abandoning what you got right here. Now, within the XCast, we did get little mention that 343 is in the very early stages of making the next Halo. So again, this could point to any shred of hope for single-player content being gone in the wind. And if that's truly the case here, I'm quite interested to see if 343 jumps to using Unreal Engine 5 for this next game, seeing how that Slipspace engine was a huge factor as to why this game launched in such a rough state. I also want to see if they're going to keep this semi-open world formula moving forward, or even expand on it, seeing how well it worked here. The gameplay for Halo is incredible and arguably the best it's ever been. The introduction of the grapple hook made traversal in this game amazing. And now they've hit their stride as far as multiplayer goes, so it's safe to say Halo Infinite, as of right now, is in pretty good hands. But with all that being said, I'm going to pass this question off to you guys. Would you guys be open to single-player DLC for Halo Infinite? Or do you like the content you've been getting within the game's multiplayer? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video. And this has been the Level Up.